Most people are creating from their unconscious mind. They are attracting similar and familiar dynamics from their childhood. They are living in the unconscious thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and patterns that keep them creating that over and over again, many times without them even knowing it. Now, when you become conscious of what you are creating and you become conscious that what you want to create already exists within your own consciousness, that's when things come to you easier than ever. That's when you're able to let go of these subconscious blocks that are sabotaging you from experiencing what you want. That's when you stop recreating similar, familiar people to come into your life to play out the patterns that have not yet been closed from childhood. Now, in this video, I want to show you one of the most powerful concepts I've been tapping into recently, something that when I look back, I can see has completely transformed my own ability to create my own dream life, and the things that I think will completely transform the way you go about manifestation and allowing you to create from a level of consciousness instead of creating from a level of unconsciousness or even lack. Now, when you think of this, let's first off understand consciousness. Consciousness is that of the patterns, the thoughts, the emotions, the actions, the behaviors that are running you. Consciousness generally is everything. However, consciousness that you become aware of is consciousness that you can then shift. Now, think about most people working 9-to-5 jobs they hate, watching the news. There's a very predictable pattern of behavior they have because they are caught in a loop. They are caught in sometimes toxic energy, and they are caught being that of victims of circumstance. They are in reaction to everything that is happening. When people are in reaction, they're much easier to control. You could even say that they may be unconscious of how they are living. This is why they have the term awakening. When you awaken to your true power, you are awakening to who you really are. And just like when you think of that, of somebody that's asleep and then wakes up, it's like a new level of consciousness. It's a totally new reality. Think about that of a dragonfly that is living underneath the surface. A dragonfly comes from that of I think it's a tadpole that is swimming through the lake or the underwater. And then eventually, that's its reality. That's the unconsciousness that it lives in. Just surviving on different things that are floating by. And then eventually it has the urge one day to go over to a leaf, to get out of the darkness of the water and to get onto a leaf where there is sun that is shining light on it. What it eventually begins to do is it begins to transform into that of a dragonfly. And then it has the ability to fly around in a completely new reality than what it's known its entire life. It's very symbolic of the level of unconscious manifestation versus conscious manifestation. Most people are living in the dark of their own subconscious patterns. This is where you may have someone that's a people pleaser, that's constantly trying to please other people, and they're not aware of it. So they go around wanting to create a magical relationship in their life, wanting to create healthy dynamics and get out of the toxic energy, but they have this unconscious pattern that they're not aware of where they are trying to please other people, trying to ease other people's attention, and they're not even aware of it. So they continue to be a victim of circumstance and of reaction, trying to get their own needs met. And then wondering why they either attract narcissists, controlling people, manipulative people, or they have trouble attracting love to begin with. And a huge part of this process is that attracting love is hard to do when you believe it is outside of you and you're looking for someone else to meet your own needs. This is where conscious manifestation, conscious reality creation comes into play. Because at the fundamental core, when you realize that you can become aware of that pattern, you can bring that unconscious pattern into consciousness and to be aware of it, you can then say, wow, I've been living in an unconscious pattern for so long. It has been driving me. It has been attracting to me people to reflect back that energy. Because here's the thing. You may want to attract a healthy relationship, but you may not be attracted to a healthy relationship because of the unconscious patterns that are inside. You see, we attract people into our life that give us certain lessons. And sometimes that lesson is to say no to a toxic energy. Sometimes that lesson is for you to step into your power. Sometimes that lesson is for you to open up your heart and to get in the unknown, uncomfortable territory. But you see, this is all a reflection of the consciousness that you're embodying. So most people want one thing consciously. I consciously want love. I consciously want this. But unconsciously, they're not aware of the patterns that are running them. So a huge part of conscious manifestation is understanding one presence, bringing the awareness inside of your body, accepting and becoming aware of the patterns that you have, and then not reacting from that place. Because most people are trying to create their dream reality from a level of lack, from a level of belief that the outside thing they want to attract in is on the outside. But no. That's not the way reality works. Reality is a reflection of the energy, the choices, the patterns, and the consciousness that exists within inside of you. So becoming consciously aware of what's in you is the key to becoming consciously aware of what energies you want to embody. Give yourself permission to feel so that then you can experience it on the outside. And otherwise, what we end up doing is if there is unresolved patterns from the past, normally this can be in the example of unprocessed mom and dad stuff, because mom and dad represent our initial relationships into this life, how we relate to ourselves and how we relate to life. So if there is unconscious energy between mom or dad, you may be projecting that onto your partner, your life, your purpose. And then you may say, well, I want validation or approval. You may not consciously say that, but you may be wanting someone to text you back. You may be wanting someone to, people to like your Instagram posts, to pay attention, because maybe there's a feeling that there wasn't unconscious attention there. There wasn't the attention from mom or dad growing up. Now, this is why one of the most powerful things for you to do is to understand that the awareness you have towards your patterns is the power. It's the awareness is half the healing or more. The other half is making a choice to feel it, to let it go, to make a new choice about who you are. Now think about your energetic field. You have an energy field that exists far beyond your body. And what happens is there's an accumulation of thoughts, patterns, energies. Some of it may be even ancestral. The lineage you come from may not even be just your stuff, but it's in the field. And the thing is, if that is running you unconsciously, there'll be blocks there to consciously creating your dream life, to consciously attracting abundance, the perfect job, going full-time with your business, love. These things will be blocked if there's energy in the field that is resistant. One of the things I've learned to do is to focus more on the field of energy around my body, taking responsibility for what's in it, even if it did come from ancestral energy, even if it did come from quote-unquote other people. but then to create that of the awareness, but to fuel it with high vibrational energy, to feel and to accept what's in the field, not resist it, but then to fuel and feel the gratitude for what I want to create in my life. Now, gratitude is the unification between you and the divine. When you feel gratitude for something, you are telling the universe and the divine, thank you. And more of this. It's in vibration. This is in vibrational resonance with whatever you are then thinking about. So this is good. There's something here I'm going to share that I think changed the game for a lot of you here in a sec. But understand your field of energy has a lot to do with what you accumulated, what you think continuously on autopilot. Becoming aware of your thoughts is becoming aware of the thought forms that may actually be in your field. There's a concept from this one book that talks about this idea of thought forms that exist within our collective consciousness, that many people fuel, and many times you maybe think you're thinking your thoughts when if you're listening to certain music, when you're watching certain movies, there's certain ideas that maybe not even your own, maybe within the collective consciousness. And then the more attention you pay to it, the more you activate it within your field, the more it attracts to you similar things that resonate with that energy. This is why having a little detox from certain television shows can be powerful, from social media can be powerful. Because think about it, when you talk about the unconscious scrolling on social media, think about this. Your attention is constantly being thrown into many different things, towards many different people. Scattered. This is why a lot of times success comes from what's called deep focus. Focusing for a certain period of time on just one or two tasks. That allows you to go deep. Think about the level of edge you have compared to everybody else who has, on average, an 8-hour screen time. Isn't that interesting? It's hard to consciously create your reality when 8 hours a day you're constantly sending so many other people energy because you're sending attention. Attention is one of your currencies. Don't you know? Don't you know how powerful your attention is? Don't you know that there are companies that will pay millions and millions of dollars for a 30-second time slot on certain television shows just to have your attention? Because they know that if they have your attention, you will fuel the growth of their product, their vision. So one of the things to become aware of is what energy is driving you and where is your attention going? Now, what energy is driving you? When it comes to consciously creating your reality, one of the things that changed the game for me was when I was able to grab something, not even grab, I was able to reveal something inside of myself that was deeper than just me. Part of my soul when it comes to making content, when it comes to creating value for other people, when it comes to this soul expression of purpose, of alignment, of expressing the real me in the world. The more I have been able to express that with the intention of adding value, the more I've been able to create from a deeper aspect of myself. And you see, most people are surface level. Most people are surface level people. This isn't some spiritual grandiose judgment. It's just true. A lot of people are on the surface of things. They're looking on Instagram and they're saying, how do I compare against this person? That unconscious pattern is driving them to compare themselves, to buy the next products. Do you want to know, by the way, back in the 1950s, 1940s, 1930s, what they learned about consumers? When all the men were at war, a lot of men were at war, advertisers and marketers got together and they realized that if they wanted housewives to buy their products, what they would do is they would create advertisements and they would create content that would get people to feel not good enough so that they would then want to buy products to make them feel good enough. This is like an agenda that is out there where people, there's this awareness. And most people are unconsciously living in the awareness of, I need to buy this product because if I buy this product, I will then feel good enough. Now, we don't need to develop some negative belief that like everyone's after us, see, everyone's priming us. But one of the processes of becoming awakened is realizing that if you are unconsciously comparing yourself, buying products to make yourself feel good enough, from that level of lack, that will create more of that energy in your life. It'll create more of this dissonance of feeling not good enough. No matter what you do, is there ever like a stage where you buy enough products and then it's like advertisers just give up because you're just so beautiful and there's no need for more? No, they always, there's an intention there to always get you to want more. Now I'm saying this because understanding the unconscious programs, the unconscious social conditioning helps you grab to a deeper level within yourself. Now think of it like this too. Most people are trying to attract money. Money. I want to attract more money. Money. Money is a symbol of energy. It's a neutral thing. But people, if they're on the surface, this is the unconscious manifestation part of it. Unconscious manifestation is, I want money. Money is an external thing. It appears to be external, but money is that of a reflection of an energy that we use for value. So when you say, I want money, what is really the focus is if you want money, focus on giving value. Focus on expressing your heart, expressing yourself, adding value to other people, getting in alignment with a purpose. Following your purpose every moment, following your excitement. You are more magnetic the more you are in your excitement energy, don't you know? Don't you know? What are you doing? People want money because they think it's going to make them happy. They want love. They want to attract a relationship because they think it's going to make them happy, not understanding that once you attract the person, there's going to be internal work to do. Don't you know? Don't you know that once you're in a relationship with someone, there's things that come up? No, it's going to be the Disneyland thing. They never show in Disneyland what happens after the love. They don't show the 20 years afterwards of them living together, being in their fields 24/7. I'm not trying to paint a dark picture here. I'm just being realistic. You think you want love, but do you want to have to go through and release those blocks of intimacy? You think you want money, but do you want to focus on removing and moving through the fear that comes up? See, conscious manifestation is about the awareness that it includes those things. Don't you know? Don't you know that there's an aspect here? This isn't just manifesting by sitting on the couch unconsciously thinking of the things that we consciously want and then wondering why we feel blocked. Don't you know? Don't you know? So, conscious manifestation, there's an awareness that the power of what you want to create and manifest in your life is already inside of you. It has the awareness that there's not this illusion that those things are going to escape you from the prison that you've been living in. No. These things that you think are going to get you somewhere else, wherever you go, there you are. It's like if you had a radio and you tuned it to 97.5 and you're here and say 97.5 is the familiar past and you put it here and you're like, look, 97.5, this is my familiar past and it's playing a tune that may sound oh so familiar but also somewhat limiting. So then what you do is you take that radio, you turn it off and you walk all the way to the other side of this lake. I'm on a lake right now. Am I bragging? Maybe. You can't see it. I brought you here to show you the lake, but the lighting just doesn't work. So instead, I get to watch the lake. But I'll put some B-roll in here. Now, I completely forgot what I was talking about. But in the moment, presence will always deliver. So where was that thing that I was talking about? In general, it'll come back to me if it's meant to come back to me. It came back to me. You see, you just have to be present to the moment and things happen. Isn't that magical? Okay, there it went again. I'm just kidding. You take this radio, you bring it to the other side of the lake, and then you turn it to 97.5, and guess what? It's still the same station, because the frequencies over here are also over there. But what happens is, if you think it's location specific, it's not. You think I'm here, once I get over there to the perfect job, then I'll tune to 98.5, which is way better. No. Don't you know? That's not how it works. Wherever you go, your energy goes. And until you process the past, until you become aware and bring the unconscious into the conscious awareness, it will run you. And it's time to break out. Now, how do you break out? You start becoming aware. You start questioning yourself. You realize you may think thoughts. You are not your thoughts. You may have patterns from your past. You're not your patterns. You may have habits. You're not even your habits. But you become aware of these. You start to observe these. That's what's called the second awakening. You've got a spiritual awakening. I create my reality. But now I have all these unconscious patterns that are running me. Actually, I'm not aware of that. I just want love. I just want this. I just want that, but I have these patterns that are there. No. You must break out by becoming aware, making a new choice about who you are, and understanding that your reality will shift to the degree to which you become aware of these patterns and the degree to which you allow yourself to feel, and fuel within your field the energy of what you want to create. Now, if you want to learn step by step as well how to raise your vibration, become aware of these patterns, I have a free course called High Vibe 101 that's in a free community called High Vibe Tribe that you can click below. There's a daily meditation in there alone that will help you to clean your energetic field. It's literally a $1,000 course I give away for free because I believe this work is so important. So you can check that out below. And also, if you want to learn more about this, comment below and let me know. I'll talk more about conscious manifestation. And then also, there's a video on how to think less to raise your vibration. It's the next level of this process. It's the conscious part that will completely shift your life. Watch this video right here. This video, I want to show you the most important and powerful insight I have ever had that has allowed